Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the update stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Artemis and Miss D. Say hi, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
So, we're over here on the staging branch, and given it is the first Thursday of the month, well, you know what that means. It is forced wipe time. And the update and forced wipe is expected out at normal time, which is going to be within the next hour, basically. And there's some good stuff coming in this update. There's not a ton of like new things, but there's a bunch of great quality of life changes and things like that. And as always, we're going to go through everything that you as a player need to know about what's coming in this update. And as always, if you have any questions, then feel free to do at Miss D underscore that's me in chat, and we'll get to as many questions as we have the opportunity to. Now, real quick, before we get into it, we've got the final results for Charitable Rust. It was our 10th annual Charitable Rust the other month, and we raised actually over $265,000 for direct relief. And direct relief even sent us a video the other week, and I wanted to get the numbers final before I played it, but we're going to play it real quick just because they wanted to thank the whole Rust community. So I thought we should pass that along. So let's run that video real quick.
Hi everyone, it's Steve from Direct Relief. I'm here in the Direct Relief warehouse where we are shipping out medicines and medical supplies all over the world. And this work is only made possible because of folks like you in the Rust community who, through your support of the Charitable Rust event last month, helped raise almost $200,000 to support this vital, life-saving work. This week, we're responding to wildfires in California, to the hurricanes in the Gulf Coast, to the flooding in Spain, and in all sorts of other important life-saving work around the world. So just know that whether you donated, whether you shared out via social media, whether you watched the stream, bought a skin, your support is making this vital work possible. Thank you so much on behalf of Direct Relief and on behalf of all the people that we help through your generosity. Thank you.
All right, cool. And we're back. And yeah, it was cool directly to send a little thank you video like that. And they recorded that before the numbers were even final. So we even raised over 200,000. Again, we raised over $265,000 for this amazing organization in our 10th year. And over 10 years in Charitable Rust, we raised over $1.5 million for various charities. And so I just want to once again just thank everyone who was involved, everyone who tuned in, who got skins, and who donated through the Tiltify campaign. It really makes a huge difference for thousands of people all around the world. And it's really just a really cool thing. So thank you to everyone who participated. And a special shout out and thank you once again to Face Punch, because the majority of the funds that are raised are from the skin sales. And without their support in doing that and all the other support they provide for the event, we wouldn't be able to make nearly the impact that we did. And so thank you, Face Punch, for not only developing this amazing game and working hard on it for now going on 11 years, but for supporting the charity event and helping us do good in the world. So thank you to Face Punch. But yeah, moving on from that, let's get into some quality of life stuff because again, the kind of main thing going on in this December update here is various different quality of life changes. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to do at Misty underscore that's me in chat. And also again, the update is expected out within the hour. Generally speaking, it is the server update hits first, and that probably will hit in about 25, 30 minutes. And then about 10, 15 minutes after that, we see the client update hit. And then we say the update is live. And the update does force a wipe across all servers. There's no signs of a forced blueprint wipe, although on Rustafied servers, many other community servers, but on Rustafied servers, most of our servers do blueprint wipe with the forced wipe, with the exception of medium threes, long threes, and minis. And as always, if you're looking for specific information about Rustified servers, when they wipe the maps, map voting, all that stuff, hit up our Discord, rustified.com/Discord, because we got all the information in there. So now let's get into some quality of life stuff. What do we have going on with some of these changes? Well, first on the list, we've got the 16x variable zoom attachment now has 3 zoom levels. So you can zoom through, you can toggle through from zoom level 4, 8, and all the way to 16. And so that just makes it a much more versatile attachment over here because you're not always like so friggin' zoomed in. You don't always need that 16x. And so it's nice to be able to go to 4 or 8 and then even tighten into that 16 if you need. So that's a nice little change we got going on. Another very cool one is the ability now to upgrade high external walls. So, say you're earlier in the wipe and you've put up a bunch of wood external walls, and now you want a bunch of stone external walls. Well, you can actually upgrade the wood ones to stone now. And you just do so with your hammer and good old building privilege, and it upgrades similar to how other things upgrade. Now, there is one catch here where, unlike when you're upgrading a wall on your base and it just pulls the resources, you do actually have to have the stone high external walls crafted in your inventory and be holding onto them before you can upgrade. So if you just have the resources and you're like, wait, why can't I upgrade this? Well, you do have to craft the high external wall first, and then you'll have the ability to update it. Now, along with that, there's a couple shifts to crafting of high external walls. They now craft 3 at once, so 3 in one go, and stone high external walls require 1 sheet metal per craft. And so a couple changes there. The stone high external gates require 1 sheet metal, but they did reduce the gear count required to 3. And also on top of all that, they reduced the crafting cost from 4,500 wood or stone to just 4,000 to make inventory management a little easier. So a couple changes. And also, as always, these specific changes are on rustified.com. We've got an article today that summarizes, all of these quality of life changes. So if you want to reference this going forward or as the wipe starts, then feel free to check out rustified.com and it should all be there. Now, next on the list, we have the work cart storage has been added. So those work carts that you find underground and everything like that, they've added 18 slot storage to that. It's just kind of a little storage, little toolbox storage thing in the back of it.
Apologies, didn't realize we
Uh-oh.
we still have the terrain bio on. Hang on.
Inside the terrain violation gets us again. Oh
I'll
well,
be right back.
we'll be back in the server shortly, but I'll keep moving on. And you can imagine what it is. There's a picture of where it is on Rustafied.com as well for where the work cart stored is, but it's just in the back of the work cart. And it's just a nice little thing because you can store up to 18 slots of items in there.
Yeah, it looks like a little red toolbox, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a little red toolbox just in the little back there. So as you're going around in your work cart, you can place a couple items in there and not be so heavily loaded yourself. Now, next on the list as well, as we reconnect to the server, the visibility underwater has been increased again. This has happened the other month, but they increased it a little more. So it's going to be just even easier to see stuff underwater, which is always nice. Now, also speaking of water related activities, they shifted the oxygen tracking a little bit and basically they increased the depth required to be considered underwater for oxygen tracking purposes by 10%. So you're no longer going to be like near the surface and running out of oxygen because that was a little weird. So they just increased that a bit. So you really have to be like legit under the water before that starts saying, you're losing oxygen or whatever, which is nice. Another really cool one actually is a change to how junk piles respawn. So these are the junk piles you're going to find around the map. They, have barrels, some low-end loot and stuff like that. And what they've done is they've made it so that if any loot is taken away or any barrels are destroyed, it can despawn. So previously, it was basically like if you destroyed a couple barrels but left like one thing and one piece of loot, that wouldn't respawn. And it would suck because you come up on a junk pile and there's basically nothing in there. But now, how they've done it is if anything's been removed or any barrel has been destroyed, then it has the opportunity to despawn. And then, what that, of course, creates is the opportunity on the server for a fresh junk pile with full loot to spawn again. So, another nice little quality of life thing we've got going on. Next on the list, we've got junkyard helicopter recycling. So if you take a helicopter over to the good old junkyard monument, well, you now are able to use the magnet and recycle it. This includes mini copter, scrap transport, and attack helicopter. And you just use the crane at the junkyard like you would with cars, but you can drop a helicopter in there, provided it's turned off. And what we were seeing is the mini copter is given 200 scrap for a recycle, and the scrappy's given 300 scrap for a recycle. So just another nice little quality of life thing if you ever are low on scrap but rich on helicopters. They have also buffed rad pills a bit this month, which is nice. So they're going to consume less water when you take them now, which is a cool thing. And they also decrease radiation more. So you're basically going to get just more effective radiation pills if you are, you know, melancholy with radiation poison. Then you won't be so thirsty, and one pill will take more rads away. So that's a nice little thing. They also added a pass-through output to storage monitor power out, and it sends one power instead of pass-through -1. So just a little change to the storage monitor pass-through stuff. In a similar vein, a lot of electrical, in fact, most of the electrical items that are deployable can now be rotated as you deploy them. So that's just a nice little thing that you can do now as well. And speaking of electrical stuff, they added a fully charged output slot to all batteries. So when a battery is fully charged, it now has this new fully charged output slot that puts out one power. And so you can do just a lot of different electrical things with that by knowing when your batteries are fully charged and being able to set up electrical systems accordingly for when the battery is fully charged, which is cool. They have also made fridges bigger. So, not actually the model's still the same size, but the slots inside of the fridges has been increased from 30 to 48. So, you're going to fit more food and goodies in your fridges when you're storing stuff like that, which is nice. Also, with regards to the legacy shelter, it's now basically you could only place one for a while, but if you've got one out there and you try to place another one, it was like, no, you got a legacy shelter, dude. You can't place another one. And that was kind of a pain in the butt because you got to go manage the destruction of your other legacy shelter. So now what it does is it basically allows you to place a legacy shelter. And if you already have another one, then it just destroys the other one that's already on the map just as you place it. And the other little caveat with this is it now takes 1.5 seconds to place. So you're also not going to like accidentally place another shelter and wreck your current one because, yeah, it takes just like a second and a half of holding down to actually get that actually placed. Also, when we're talking about slots, well, the Dropbox input now, instead of one slot, has four input slots. So you can just input more stuff into Dropboxes when you're using them. And hey, quality of life, nice stuff. They also added homing rockets to the high end ordnance, like loot tables, basically. So basically, with the APC and attack helicopter loot, you're now going to find homing rockets in those loot tables as well. And then finally, with quality of life, wrapping it up, when you come to stacking, well, you can now stack more propane tanks than you ever could before. Previously, it was only 5 that you could stack at a time. And now you can actually stack 20 per stack, which is also, hey, nice quality of life stuff. Now, as you're actually roaming around the map, one of the new items that is coming in this update. And this was actually part of a Hack Week project. And it's always cool to see these Hack Week projects. And then, especially when they actually make their way into the game. Not all Hack Week projects do, of course, but it's always fun when a new Hack Week project makes its way in. And the Hack Week project this month that's made its way in is car radios. And what they've done basically is they've kind of mirrored what a boombox does, but it's now something that you can craft 120 metal frags, so not breaking the bank in 15 seconds to craft, same as the boombox. But now you craft one, you can go up to a vehicle and you can deploy it on the dashboard of the vehicle and then listen to some tunes as you're rolling around the island of Rust. And the one caveat with this is that the car has to be on. But, hey, that's easy enough and kind of makes sense. So, yeah, you got car radios as you're rolling around the plains of Rust. Now, the other thing that happens this month, well, there's a couple things that happen this month. One is Rust is turning 11. Rust's birthday is, I believe it's next week sometime. I should really mark my calendar or something and remember the exact date by this point because we've been doing this for around 11 years. But anyway, Rust is turning 11. There is a birthday cake. As we've seen in previous years, it's been updated to have an 11 on it. And we're not clear exactly what type of birthday festivities we might see this year. Sometimes it varies from year to year, but generally there's some, type of festivity to celebrate the birthday of Rust. And this year looks to be no different. So stay tuned for some specifics. I think probably the dev blog, they'll describe it. I honestly, I didn't bother trying to ask the devs to see exactly what's going to happen because it's cool, but it's not like a huge big thing, right? But the fact that Rust has been around for 11 years actually is pretty damn huge. And the fact that not only it's been around for 11 years, because hey, there's a lot of video games in your Steam library that have been around for 11 years, but the fact that we're still here and they're still updating it every month, month after month, year after year. We're seeing new things in, we're seeing quality of life stuff. We're seeing this game continue to transform and grow and flourish and become more and more awesome. And the only way that's possible is because Facepunch works on this tirelessly, year after year, month after month, week after week. And so going on 11 years, that's pretty friggin' huge. And a big happy birthday to Rust and a big shout out and just infinite gratitude to the team at Facepunch because, it's not easy to do something consistently for 11 years, like regardless of what it is. And in the video game space, something like this is pretty much unheard of. This game is really a freaking unicorn. And it's a unicorn not just because the game's awesome, but because the development studio behind it is so friggin' dedicated and creative and talented. And so, thank you, Facepunch, and happy birthday, Rust. Now, the other thing coming this month is, of course, the Xmas content. And that will likely be going live. I don't think it's going to be next week. I think it's going to be the following week. So I want to say that's the 19th, most likely. We'll see a server and client update come out, and that will launch the Xmas content for the year. If you've been around for previous, Rust Xmas's, you'll see likely a lot of the same thing. Those jingle bells ring like once every day or so in game, and then presents appear around you, and you whack them, and you get some small, medium, or large Christmas presents, and like various other festive, events in Rust, you can take the small presents and upgrade them to medium, and take the medium and upgrade them to large, and then you open them and you get some good stuff. And the airdrop is now Santa's sleigh going overhead, and it drops better loot and all that stuff. And for new for this year, it looks like there's going to be an ice sculpture that's going to be a part of this event as well. And that's just basically a big block of ice that you can then use certain melee tools to chip away at, to carve away at, and make whatever type of sculpture you want. And it's not clear exactly if this is going to be a paid item on the item store or if it's going to just drop in maybe some of the Christmas loot or what. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't think people are going to be doing Michelangelo's David over here with it because it's it takes a little getting used to carve it out proper and everything like that. But I think people could do some very creative things and also probably some very phallic things. So that's cool. And that's another thing. That's one of the new things that appears to be coming with the Xmas event. Once again, likely 2 weeks from now. I'm thinking the dev blog will have confirmation of the exact date that it's coming out, but I think it's going to be 2 Thursdays from now. That's generally, based on previous years, the release schedule. Now, also, there's some other stuff going on, other stuff coming in the update today. We've got landmines now have a 15% chance to explode on being disarmed. So this was actually how it was always intended to do. You're supposed to be able to disarm them, and it's not supposed to. You're supposed to have a good chance of being able to disarm them, like provided you see them. So they're now working basically as it was always intended to work. They've also done some more improvements and fixes to the Wolf AI because, of course, the new Wolf AI went live the other month, and we saw we saw some really high jumping wolves and some wolf activity that I don't think was as intended from the development team. And so we've seen a number of different fixes and changes and improvements to the Wolf AI that is going live with the update today. They've also done a number of fixes, like miscellaneous realm of fixes. There's fixes to reloads for rocket launchers because some of that timing and everything was a little off. And they've got some fixes for the painting and artwork dynamics in the game. There was a little texture change to the hammer that was done. There was this like kind of dark streak that's been there forever and that's been removed. So game unbroken now officially with that hammer texture being fixed. They've also got some fixes to wire slacking functionality and stuff like that. And when it comes to like Peacekeeper mode, they're only going to show warnings if in Peacekeeper mode powered up and if the player is not authorized. So with the turrets and stuff. And they've also got kind of on the back end, they've got some improvements to Archon security that should be going live with this. This isn't going to impact you as a player too much, but for a server owner, it's nice because if someone's trying to like brute force the Archon password in the server, then ideally this will not only log the attempts, but then if there's too many failed logins and attempts, it'll like block the person out from being able to continue to try to guess the password. So that's cool. And then finally, they did a fix to teleport to marker and teleport to grid. Basically, sometimes it was moving you inside rocks or bases, and now it's going to put you on top of them. Again, not a player thing, that's like an admin thing, but it's nice to see, and it's a cool fix to have come in. And yeah, that about does it for what we've got going on with this update today. There's all those quality of life fixes, there's car radios, and a bunch of other miscellaneous fixes. And then later on, we got Rust's birthday and the Xmas event later this month. So some cool stuff afoot. There's also, as we look into next year, some really crazy changes coming. I mean, with the siege weapons and things like that, and this new kind of primitive game mode or era system where the general gist from what I've gathered is that the certain items, and I don't know if it's just going to be split up by tier or whatever, but certain items will only be available in certain eras. So depending on the wipe cycle of the server, for say it's a weekly wipe, maybe the first like day or two it's in the primitive era, and then it graduates to the next era, and then another couple of days goes by and you get towards the end of the wipe, and then it's the end era. Now, I don't think this is going to be applied to every single server by default. I think it's going to be an option, but frankly, a lot of this is still up in the air and kind of unknown. But it looks like the siege weapons are going to be a part of that. So potentially, you'll in primitive eras have to raid with just primitive siege weapons instead of just crafting C4 because you got the blueprint. And it really could be some really interesting and awesome dynamic changes and changes to the meta of not only raiding in the game, but progression overall. And that stuff is not going live this month. I think that's going to be quarter 1 of next year. Generally speaking, December isn't a huge month for development because, well, rightfully so, the team works all year and it makes sense to give them a little break for the holidays and everything like that. So, generally speaking, and historically speaking, January hasn't been a huge update time. And so I don't think the siege weapons and all this primitive stuff will go in for January, but maybe February, maybe March we'll see it. There's also the jungle ruins and that whole new monument and potentially a new like jungle biome coming in with crocodilators, I was going to say crocodiles and snakes and python or panthers, oh my. And vines you can swing from vine to vine on like Tarzan and various other cool things on the horizon. So the future for Rust is bright. And as always, we'll keep you up to date as those things are coming out next year. But for the time being, this is actually going to be our last stream of the year. I decided to take a little holiday myself, and so we will not be streaming anymore in December. The next stream will be January for the Force Swipe. I think it's January 4th. Let me calendar it real quick. Oh no, it's actually January 2nd. So this will be the last stream of the year, and we'll be back January 2nd to let you know what, if anything, is coming for the January Forced Wipe and update. And we'll get into some questions, but I just want to take a moment and thank everyone for all the support. A lot of people tune in and think we're either developers of the game or FacePunch pays us to do what we do here. And neither of those are the case. We're just an independent organization who loves reporting on development news and running the best servers that we can. And we've now been doing this for over 10 years. And the only way we've been able to do it year after year is through the support of the community. So, to everyone who tunes in and watches, to people who give bits and subscribe on Twitch, and to our wonderful, beautiful, loyal VIP customers, thank you all so very much for the support because literally without you, without that support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here. So, just a huge thank you to everyone. And I hope everyone had a wonderful year. And I hope everyone has a wonderful December and wonderful holidays and a wonderful new year. Because, yeah, after this stream, we won't be on again until January. But just, yeah, much love and gratitude to you all because it's really cool to see where this game has come over the past 10 years. And man, when I started doing this 10 years ago, I don't think I would have guessed we'd be where we're at right now. And where we're at right now, I think is really awesome and really good. So just much love to you all and thank you. And with that, yeah, let's get into some questions. We got any from the audience, Misty?
Yes, we do. But first, I want to say thank you to Russ 1194 for the Prime sub.
Oh, yeah, thank you for the sub.
And let me see here. Can you show the wall upgrade if the wood wall are barely touching each other? Just asking if it will create a gap when you upgrade it to stone.
Yeah, Artemis, do you think you could maybe try to test that out? That seems like it might be a little finicky of one to test, but we can maybe give it a
So
go.
just my understanding, you want me to place two that are barely touching, right? Just to see how they perform when they upgrade.
Yeah, I think that was the request.
Awesome.
And I saw some more subs come in. Thank you guys so much for
Yeah, I was about
the generosity. And for anyone just tuning in, basically, the update is expected to come out at normal time. And so, sorry, I just got a message and I thought it might be important, but it can wait. But the update is expected to come out at normal time. And how this, generally speaking, goes down is the server update will come out first, and that should be out in the next probably 10 minutes, maybe less. And then once the server update comes out, it takes about 10 minutes for the client update to come out, and then the dev blog goes live, and then we say the update is officially live. So the update is expected to be complete by 2 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it comes out a little earlier. If you're looking to get on the servers as soon as possible and all that stuff, then be ready because the servers, once the server update comes out, at least at Rustafied, we update the servers and wipe them as soon as possible so they can be up and people can start having some fun with the fresh wipe action as soon as possible. So just be ready, to run that update because the servers will be coming up quick.
Can you please make a solo SEA server like EU and US?
At the moment, we don't have any plans to open any more servers. So the future may hold anything, but at the moment, we don't have any plans to open any more servers. In fact, for the new year, we have some plans to even consolidate a couple things, move some things around. So we do have some server changes planned, and we'll announce them later this month, and they'll go into effect in January. But at the moment, there's no plans to open any new servers.
So yeah, just to confirm, it looks like upgrading to stone does seem to close the gaps between the walls, which I think is pretty much what that question was getting at.
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh, server update is live. Look at that, right at half past the hour, right on time. And so let me tweet about it. Let me change this little thing. And that's a good sign. That means this update is coming out on time and or early even.
When is the Christmas event coming out?
The Christmas event is going to be mid-December, generally speaking. I didn't get confirmation the exact date. I think on the dev blog they'll let the exact date be known, but my guess is going to be it's going to be 2 Thursdays from now on the 19th, and then it'll run until January 2nd. Uh, that would be my guess. There's a small chance maybe they launch it next week on the 12th, but I think most likely it's going to launch on the 19th. But again, hopefully the dev blog lets us know with that.
I
Do you need
need.
to know?
Oh,
Huh?
sorry, miss. I
It's
need
like,
a assistant just to test whether we can shoot through the hole in the sculpture, which is a good question.
Can you do that, Misty, or do you want me to pop it back in the game?
there is a ton of questions though, and chat is busy. So if you can, that would be nice.
Yeah, let me come on over. Let me know where you need me.
Just on
Where
the
the
Hole.
heck did you go?
to the left, if that's good.
Oh, there we go.
At the back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got me.
Hell yeah. Really good
Interesting.
question. Yeah.
Good question and very interesting.
So I guess the other thing would be, can we shoot through the solid part, or is it going to give us cover?
Let me come back through and I'll just stand.
Oh, so one sec, just reloading.
Cool.
Sneaky little hole.
Did that go through or no?
Nope.
Ah, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah, it just destroys it. Okay.
good questions.
So it gives you a little cover potentially.
Cheeky, yep.
All right.
All right, awesome. So, and if you're just tuning in, the server update is live. The client update is probably going to hit in the next like 10 minutes or so. The update is on time. This update does force a map wipe across the board. There's no sign of a forced blueprint wipe. And then generally speaking, after the client update hits, the dev blog goes live and gives some more information. But we also have a whole bunch of information about the quality of life changes and other stuff coming in this update on rustafied.com as always. So feel free to check that out. And yeah, what other questions do we have?
Do you need to have the stone wall blueprint to upgrade it?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, because you need to, with the upgrade process of the high externals, you need to actually have the item crafted. So technically, I guess someone else could craft it for you and give it to you, but it doesn't work like the bases where you just have the resources. You actually need to have the stone wall in your inventory to be able to upgrade it from wood into stone.
And people are asking if you can go underwater to see the visibility, especially
Oh
maybe
yeah,
near a
let's check
shark.
that out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they
Was that
want to see
especially or sorry?
sharks, especially near a shark if possible.
Well, I could try the teleport to any again, but we saw what happened last time, so you're cool, Bugs.
Oh, and you know what? I just got a message. Shout out that German guy. Thank you for the message, brother. Apparently, with the ice sculpture stuff, they actually patched it so when they come out, it's not going to allow you to shoot through little tiny holes in the sculpture. Because, of course, that isn't the intended use of the sculpture to be like this thing that you can pop shot people through. It's for making statues of penises and swastikas, of course. No, I don't know what
Exactly.
it's going to
Yeah.
be, but yeah. So it looks like they have patched that. So disregard that whole me getting shot through the tiny hole in the sculpture.
Yeah. You want me to teleport to a shark bugs with the terrain stuff?
Yeah, give it a go.
Let me see here. Um, does the Rustafied team have anything to say about the cheating situation? It's getting out of hand, and I'm wondering if there's any plans to improve the anti-cheat or something to ease our pain.
Well, so first and foremost, I completely agree. It's out of hand. It's been out of hand. I speak about this most weeks, most months. As a server owner, like we have to deal with banning literally hundreds of people manually a day. The situation is out of hand, and it has been. Thankfully, Facepunch did announce months ago that they're prioritizing it in a way they hadn't been previously. They did give an update on the hacker situation, what they've been doing just in last month's dev blog. They're working with EAC and they're trying to find improvements. In fact, they have like new networking things planned that should technically make it so people can no longer ESP because it's not going to network the, information about players when they're not visible and they're behind objects and stuff. So it's all to say it is being worked on, but I'm not going to like sugarcoat it and be like, oh no, hacking is not a big issue. No, hacking's a big fucking issue in the game right now, and it has been, and it hasn't really gotten better. We've seen moments where it gets better and then it gets worse. It's kind of this ebb and flow thing, and it has been for years. And I so look forward to a time where I can get on here and say, oh, we only had to ban like two people manually from our servers for hacking yesterday. I'd consider that like a huge win. But at the moment, we run, I mean, granted, we do run a bunch of popular servers, but we literally every day are banning hundreds of people manually that are clearly, obviously cheating, brand new accounts running 50 and 2 kill to death ratio. And it's hard to stay positive when it's like EAC, like how are they not catching these people quicker? And I know some things about it, like they're trying to collect. It's not just catching one hacker, it's collecting heuristics to be able to detect all these cheats and everything like that. But the fact of the matter is, cheating in this game is not like cheating in another game where in another game you might have a 3 minute round or a half hour thing, and you lose your progress, you lose half an hour. In this you can work days, weeks on stuff, and then one cheater can ruin it in a couple minutes. So it stings so much more in this game than it does in most other games. And I'm very thankful though that Facepunch is prioritizing this. They have made improvements. They've got more improvements planned, and it is something that they are really working on. Over with Rustified, what we've done is we've actually been developing our own in-house anti-cheat solution. We're working with another third-party anti-cheat solution. We're bringing on new staff members. We're as diligent and as active as we can be in Discord for people who give report IDs. If you see a hacker or someone suspect in one of our servers, go to my.rustified.com and fill out a report. And then, better yet, go in our Discord and give that report ID in there. Don't call out names in Discord, that doesn't help us. But if you give a report ID, like, hey, I got a hot one here. Here's the report ID. We'll get rid of them as soon as possible. And that is why we have been banning hundreds of people per day, because a lot of people give some great reports. So it's all to say we're doing the best we can, and we've been investing a lot of time and effort, especially this year, in doing our own stuff to try to remove hackers from our servers as quickly as possible. But at the end of the day, it isn't this job of the server owners to remove the hackers. I know most people think it is, but and it does, the onus does fall on us, right? When EAC doesn't do their fucking job. And EAC, it's easy anti-cheat. They were hired years ago with literally one job. And until they do that job effectively, then the onus falls on server owners who don't have the tools and resources to properly manage the situation. And so that's where we're at right now, as plainly as I can put it. Again, I really look forward to a day where I can say with confidence the hacker situation is so much better. And I'm so thankful that Facepunch has not only acknowledged the issue, but has been prioritizing it for months, and they've got some cool stuff planned. But man, it's still an issue. And I got to remember to breathe as I'm talking about it because I'll be honest, it really is upsetting over here. It's really frustrating over here as a server owner to see people's players in our servers have their experience ruined by, so many people hacking. So we do the best we can. And again, thank you to everyone who goes to my.rustafied.com or /report in game or /report in Discord and fills out reports and sends us report IDs. And we'll keep doing the best we can. And I really look forward to a day where this situation is much better. And I'll let you know when it seems like we got there, but we ain't there yet.
Does the Stonewall also does the Stonewall change also allow upgrade of wooden gate to stone?
Yeah, it works for the gates too. But same thing, you have to have the gate crafted. You don't just have to have the resources for the gate. Again, they did change some of the crafting related to this. So with the stone, you need a piece of sheet metal and it crafts 3 at once. And for the stone high external gate, it's less gears. You need sheet metal as well, but they reduced the gear count required to 3. And the crafting cost, instead of being 4,500 either wood or stone, is 4,000. So a couple little changes to the crafting, but the big thing is the quality of life. You can, if you've got wood external walls and you've crafted some stone external, you can upgrade those.
How do I ask the streamer a question?
You do at Misty underscore, that's me in chat, and Misty will keep an eye out for your question, and then we'll get to as many questions as we can. And I don't think we have that much time left, to be honest with you, because the server update has been out for about over 10 minutes now. The client update is probably going to hit pretty shortly here. And then we say the update is officially live, and we're already working on updating and getting our servers live and wiped. And it looks like all of our servers are actually up and updated already. So as soon as that client hits, you'll be able to join our freshly wiped and updated servers.
Let's go through some questions real fast, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is there any update on global rendering?
Not that I've seen, really. It looks like it's still kind of in that concept limbo phase. They need to redo some asset pipeline stuff, last I heard, and I'm not sure the status of that.
What's the deal with custom prefabs? Did they remove them?
They actually have been adding some more prefabs for modders this month. So they've actually added some more stuff. That's another thing actually to speak of that is going live. I think some more prefabs for modders are actually going live.
So when can we expect to see the Rustafied stats system?
And that is something that is, unfortunately, due to a number of circumstances, I wanted it to be live by now, but it looks like it's going to be in the new year at this point, just because we had some delays. And I'm really not willing to sacrifice quality just to push something out. So we do have this awesome stats and leaderboard system coming. It's custom built from the ground up and going to be basically live updating and really provide some awesome stuff that you can't find anywhere else. But unfortunately, it is delayed a bit and it's going to take a little bit longer than we originally wanted it to.
Can you pick up the ice block, and if so, will it save the progress on it?
Oh, interesting question.
I don't think you can, but I can test that, no worries.
Yeah, let's test it real quick.
In the meantime, this is not a question, but thanks to you, me, at Bugs, Artemis, and everyone at Rustafied for all you do. Happy holidays, New Year, and vacation. See you next year.
Oh, that's so sweet for you to say, and you're so welcome. And thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you everyone for, the support. We're an independent organization, and we've now been doing this for over 10 years. And the only way we can keep doing it is through the support of the community. So, literally, to everyone who just watches, to people who give bits, subscribe on Twitch, and to our wonderful, beautiful, loyal VIP customers. Thank you, because yeah, again, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. And much love to you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful, holiday season and New Year and everything. Because again, this is the last stream we're going to be doing for the year. Oh, and it does save your progress, by the way, which is nice.
Yeah, well done.
Is the old rock maps removed?
Ooh, client update is out. And yeah, the rocks, I believe the old terrain rocks are removed. Um, I believe that was the plan. So they're removed from the game. If you're a custom map maker, you might have to account for that. But then again, if you're a custom map maker, you've known about that for a matter of months anyway. But the client update is out. Let me update our little status thing here and tweet about it. We got patches live.
Do you want to do a quick recap or no?
Well, we'll do a real quick one, but we're going to wind this puppy down because I really want to make sure that our servers come up and are wiped smoothly and Overwatch all that stuff. So if you want to see all the information, the dev blog should be out momentarily, but also rustified.com. I've got everything on my article today summarized in text and pictures, but there's a bunch of quality of life stuff that's out. The 16x variable zoom, high external wall upgrading with a hammer, there's storage on the work cart. There's improved underwater visibility. Oxygen tracking has been improved so you're not losing oxygen so close to the surface. Junk piles will respawn if just a couple things are taken. It doesn't have to wait for everything to be taken. You can recycle helicopters at the junkyard and get some scrap. Rad pills have been buffed. There's a storage pass through added. And you can rotate electrical items as you're placing them, and there's a fully charged slot added to all the batteries. And we got bigger fridges, 48 slots in fridges instead of 30. And legacy shelters will automatically destroy a previous legacy shelter as you place a new one. There's 4 input slots to drop boxes. There's homing rockets you're going to be finding in higher end loot now. You can stack propane tanks from instead of 5 to 20. And car radios have been added. They're like a boombox. You craft them for 120 metal frags, and you can deploy them on the dashboard of a vehicle and then listen to tunes as you roll around. And Christmas is coming later this month. I think it's going to be 2 weeks from today. And also, Rust is turning 11, so there's going to probably be some festivities for that in the next week or so as well. And there were a bunch of other fixes and things like that. And of course, the dev blog is going to have a full rundown as well as to all this stuff. But with that, we are going to wind this puppy down. Again, I do want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to acknowledge Face Bunch for another amazing year of development, and just thank you for your tireless efforts and work and creativity and talent to keep this game purring, keep this game improving, keep this game thriving. Awesome work, and a very happy holidays and wonderful new year to the whole team at Face Punch and to all of you. And I do want to just finally acknowledge my whole team at Rustafied. I could not and would not do this all by myself. And so we've got an awesome team here, and thank you to everyone at Rustafied for everything you do. And thank you, Artemis and Misty, as always, for being my co-MCs here. Much love to you, to everybody.
You're welcome, but if can we just like wait a minute because we have someone we need to raid and he's about to go live. So just a
Oh,
minute.
he's not
Yeah.
ready yet?
Well,
Come on,
we
Snuffy
usually
Fluffy.
no. What usually we have force vibe is normally longer than
Well,
he's
these
live.
people should know
So
this
no,
by
he's
now.
ready. No, he's ready. He just
He's
messaged me.
ready? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. So yeah, awesome. We are gonna raid Snuffy Fluffy.
Merry Christmas,
Um,
y'all.
Yeah,
yeah,
Merry
he's
Christmas,
our
guys.
featured. And yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, have a wonderful New Year. Again, we'll be back in January to do the update stream then. But I hope you all have a wonderful holidays, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a safe time. And again, thank you everyone for everything. Much love to you all. And have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. And with that, we're shutting the stream down. Patches live, baby. Let's go. And hang around because we're raiding Snuffy Fluffy. And here we go to do that.